I am back. I am being consistent. I think I'm nearly a week straight of streaming every day, which is pretty cool. Yeah, let's continue the progress on this fun little map. There is a lot to do, actually. Let's shrink this down a little, and then let's take the whole object and move it up a tiny bit. Just give a nice little flat platform. That raises the height down inside a little bit, but that's okay. Yeah. So what are we doing today? That is the question. An exciting way to start a stream and video, all right? We got lots of content that we need to build out in due time. We can start scaffolding some more areas. That sounds fun for today. So, we currently have the main entrance area, which I've intentionally kept pretty barren, with the idea of it being something we can add later as we want to evolve the product of what the starting experience will look like. Then we have the first little leveling area, which is a nice little maze. In fact, I'm getting very mazy. I'm hoping I won't maintain that. That's mainly just a first impression thing. You're going to have mazes. You're going to have weird architecture. And then down below, you figured this is going to be like levels 1 to 5. So here, we can start at like 3 to 8 or something, you know? And we do have this formation like so. It might be fun. We go down, we have this little area. Let's go ahead and shrink the Z on here. And let's go ahead and start like expanding this in different ways. Why does this have no material, by the way? You need a material. Thank you. So what we're going to do is just start planning this. All right, so you go down and you're now in this scary little area. Let's split it by 2, actually. So we're going to go edit mode, everything, loop cut, and do something like this. Now I can grab... Why is this in a weird mode? No one select box. There we go. I can grab these, and then I can go GX, and no. I need to extrude them first. There. And then we can, like, turn these south, and we can deviate these at this point. So this is kind of like a little checkpoint area that you can rest, I guess you could say. Yeah. Let's also take this and just sort of put a little plane. Maybe even have one here. Oops, that one I didn't want. So what we're doing, we can go ahead and dissolve these edges, is we are going to go ahead and take these 2 edges and extrude them up Z. Wait. There we go. And we're going to make like some walls. Where's my human, by the way? I want you to get over here. Like that. Because I want to keep the scale somewhat decent. All right, so we got us chilling here. And we're going to go ahead and move these down a little bit because they're pretty dang big. I kind of like having a little bit of a rest point here to kind of encourage people to feel like this is a new transition point for the next area. Oh, they're doing overloaded's talking to me. Okay, what we can also now do is I'm going to go ahead and basically select this loop, grab another loop cut, and we're going to loop cut right about here and right about here. The idea is then I can take face mode, grab these faces, and extrude them as well up the Z. Oops. There. So basically now we have two faces. And we have like an enclosed area that we can put the next stuff. We're also going to take these edges, dissolve them. We're going to also take a knife, loop cut, and put one. Oh, I have snap on. That's jacking me up a little. Okay, we're going to make a little wall here. And then we're going to take this, dissolve it, and now we have you. We can also take you out, and we can extrude you up the Z as well. And that's jacking me up there. Cool. So now we have a little raised perimeter area. And then we're going to have like two paths. And these two paths, I'll probably end up slicing, kind of like you can see here. I've already done a little. In fact, what we may want to consider is running another slice for this about here. And another one about kind of mirrored. Come on, just let me, there we go. Cool. No, I didn't mean to dissolve faces, dissolve edges. There we go. That should be pretty clean. These ones arguably can get put away. Same with this one. And these. But now we have relatively clean geometry. Granted, right here is a little wonky. I could have kept the slice, but it's not end of the world. I can technically extrude you on the face. The problem is if I move you up, yeah, let's go ahead and just extrude over to here. That's fine. And we could actually grab that edge and say G, Y, and then snap here. Same with you. G, Y, snap to here. Perfect. Cool. So now I can grab these two and extrude up, which of course looks horrible, but that's because you need to snap. Can we do vertex base, please? There we go. We can grab the vertex and do this. And now we have this clean slope for a wall coming down. And we can do a similar operation with this. Cool. So now we got these downward slopes going on. And we have a little bit more architecture going on for these two symmetrical looking areas. And then on one of them, we're going to go veer left and kind of make some sort of winding path. And on the right side, I'm going to be in opposite land, because typically when you think of like navigating mazes and stuff, you think stick to the right, because, you know, that's usually like a cheat. Also, my stream manager says I'm offline. That doesn't sound right. Let's reload Twitch on my heads up. Make sure that I'm getting content, if any. There. So anyways, yeah. We got this nice little maze. Technically the right direction is right-ish. But once you're through here, it's actually going to be left to go down. And right's just going to become this meandering area that you can explore. Is kind of my vision. What we can do here, actually, is we can straighten this. Like that. And yeah, I like it. For the rooftop, I'll probably end up, you know, tweaking that here in a sec. But we could add some ridges and things. It would be kind of fun to make a trap if you go right here. I haven't made any traps yet. So basically, what would be the easiest way, though? Let's say that we extrude this. All right, and then we move it down, and we try to keep it kind of parallel. This is likely going to jack up the texture, but that's fine. And then we extrude again. And this time, why is X misaligned? I don't like that. That's all right. We can just go like this. Oh, you need to be off. There we go. And we can then simulate this. Obviously, the textures aren't aligned yet very well. I don't think cube projection works in that mode. Hey, Sanguines. Thanks for the follow. As you can see, I'm working on some EverQuest maps, making some custom EQ zones for fun. Making it so you just kind of run around and explore and have all sorts of interesting nooks and crannies to find problems with. And right here, I'm actually going to create my first false ground. Kind of debating how I'll do that. Easiest is that I just delete. No. Don't want to delete. What I could do is GZ and then snap this to be the same as the other one. So we go to snap to face project. And then we go back to edit mode. And there. That should cause the illusion. I know that you can see the face culling, and that is because the other one is aligning with it, which I believe I can take out by using this there. Was looking on YouTube for me. Yeah, dude. So can't wait to try this out. But remember that, as said, no Darkmoon Tower on her. No her. Yeah. So here's the thing. I'm making a whole new world. Basically, you start off on this world with, you fall down a pit, and you're just going to be venturing south, and everything's going to be custom. So what that means is I can absolutely, in fact, like right here, this is where you start, right? And you're going to go through this little maze. I'm just cheating it. And then there's this like long corridor, and you're going to be able to see everything around us. So what I could do, like there'll be like these huge perimeter walls, right? Is we could put Darkmoon Tower like as one of the establishments, right? So like even in the beginning zone, you'll see, let's say, Darkmoon Tower right over there. That would be pretty cool, right? What is the name of this? Gloomhold? Yeah, Gloomhold Caverns is what I'm calling the maze zone so far. But it's really just you're in an Underdark area. I almost feel like for Darkmoon Tower, though, we should make it a zone. We could make it like a, one of the connecting zones, and like dedicate an entire winding tower. And if you two want to help, you can actually help me architect like the general layout of the tower. And we can either lay it out as a hunting ground or even just like a hub, right? Like a shadow haven of sorts. And we can make all the NPCs super powerful. Yeah, definitely. Bring it on. I mean, obviously everything's going to be low poly, and I'm going to be handcrafting everything, so it might not be, but I'm totally cool with, shout outs and inspiration incorporation stuff. Pretty much everything I'm making right now is just whatever I feel like, There's no real rhyme or reason per se for everything. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and go side view. Turn off the bounding box again. And let's go ahead and extrude you off the X over to about here. And let's go ahead and only extrude these. Okay, and we're going to make a turn. So there's a couple ways we can do this. What I'm thinking is we extrude you, also up X. And now we can take these and extrude up with a snap to the edge. There. So now we have the drop, which you can avoid, and then you have a turn. And this means when you're sitting over here and you're deciding which way to go, you just see, okay, that's a long cavern that turns right. And over here, I'll probably make it a long cavern that turns left. So you've been watching it overloaded. That's awesome. And yes, absolutely. Tower of Frozen Shadow. I'm honestly going to get super like copying of stuff. Right now I'm kind of just playing, you know what I mean? Like I'm making mazes and stuff just to have some sort of experience. But as you explore and you kind of enjoy this new custom content, I'm totally happy with ripping off existing EQ content. There's no hearsay for that. As long as I can maintain a not get copyright striked or something weird. Because all this content is technically custom, right? So let's go ahead and move you out a little, make another turn. Then we're going to extrude you out. Man, that snap is jacking me up. Make a little wall. And then now we can extrude up here. So now we got that turn for this one. And this won't have a fail. Well, I mean, this is all 100% custom so far. Have you seen the game yet? Let me, yeah, here, let me, I'll show you the game real fast. Let me see if I can generate real fast. So let's go into game. I'll show you what I've done so far. The zone connecting and the drop is currently bugged though, but let me show you. And this will be on the video later overloaded, so you can laugh at the recap if you're watching them. Yeah, I freaking just went online and got an online maze generator and put it into EQ. All right, so we're going to go to Soul Dungeon B real quick. Zone Soul Dungeon B. Then we're going to go to 000, and we're going to lower this main chat. I kind of grew it up too big. But here you go, Sanguine. This is mainly for you, but other people watching can see too. So the idea is that you just fell down, and you're a naked level 1 starting on the server. And if you look up, you're going to be like, okay, there's this huge pit, and I might even like make your health hurt, like, you know what I mean? And maybe have like an emote that's like, you know, you wake up from a blackout, right? And notice that you've, you know, fallen from a high area or something. You know, like that's the idea, that you've fallen into a pit and there's no way back up. So you only have one route. And when you go down the route, the idea is that you're kind of like just winding down into the unknown, and then you immediately get faced with this problem. And the problem is you can't get across. Yeah, start off almost dead because there's nothing that's going to hurt you, right? You're just going to have like 10% health or something. And there's just a long pit. That's like all you have when you start the server. And so you just got to do a leap of faith, which of course right now I have some geometry issues with the leap of faith. But you fall down and it zones you into the first custom zone. And by the way, this is in Soul Dungeon B because then people that aren't running the client can still at least access the server and they'll be stuck in a safe box. So once you fall in here, I don't actually have it anymore, but there will be a, actually, I forgot to export my bounding box as well. Whoops. You know, normally this is all encompassed by a huge cube. You'd look up and you'd see the other drop point, of course. So now you're in this area. And my mindset was I would create a, probably like a myconid, you know, like Mushroom Men hub here. Keep it really simple to start. And I made it kind of big with the idea that we can expand it and put NPCs, you know, everything's very like rough draft. So like imagine a lot more geometry in this, you know, like little nooks and crannies and stuff. But for now, I'm just laying out the area. So this will be your first hub. And this will be like, if you die, you just respawn here, right? Like this is everyone's starting point. And for now, there's only one route. Later, I'll add more routes, you know, as the server grows and, you know, as we want more content. And it's basically like choose your own adventure, where instead of having to like run around to different zones to level, you just go down these different caverns. And the first cavern that we're making right now is actually already a maze. You can see there's 3 ways. There's 1, 2, and then a little side way. And the left way is a dead end. It just takes you into a bunch of area for EXP. And then over here, I know the map pretty good. I should be able to do it without... You just have this winding path. I'll probably put some mobs scattered about. We've also made an upper floor, by the way. I don't know if I showed that in the last video, but I did clean it up a bit. So now you basically redo the maze, but now it's backwards. And I did it this way just to kind of, you know, add some interesting... These are actually not all the way elevated, but, you know, just more content and more area to EXP. And I'm designing it this way too, by the way, so that Show EQ and MQ2 have issues because there's like all these floors and there's a lot of, you know, Z impact and stuff. So the mobs kind of just merge. And this was going to be the first troll. It wasn't going to be too hardcore, but basically I was going to make this ice. And when you run up, you're thinking, oh, I can just go this way. And once you stop, this will drop you to your death. And when you die, you just respawn. And I will make a system where there's an NPC for minimal cost will summon all your corpses for you. Because I want this game to be harsh. I want it to be scary, you know, as you explore. The real way to route this is you come down this way, and you're going to be given a couple options. You can see there's a little avenue here, here, and then this new area I'm building out. That is a really complex, gigantic maze. And down here is what I'm just starting. So, and this dude's a little small. I might need to fix him. He's like 1 unit too small right now. Or he's in the ground. Let's see, actually. I think he's just in the ground. Yeah. In fact, let's snap you to face, and then there you go. Now you're on the ground proper. So anyways, and at this point, you're going to have 2 paths. I will put a roof on this, by the way. And yes, absolutely sound effects when you hit areas. And, you know, I'm just building this out. This is a little big. I might shrink it a little bit. Yeah, I can do doors. And absolutely, I can do sliding, you know, entrances. Like right here, I'm actually, you see how there's like a little bit of an odd recess? I'll kind of keep it that way. But in fact, I need to test this real quick. This is a good time to test it. We're going to make a drop, a hidden door, or a hidden floor here. That's a actual, I think, the ambient music, what you're talking about. But all right, so we're going to make a new material, and we're going to call this rock false, and it's going to have the exact same texture. And we're going to edit this face right here, and we're going to make it into this new material. Oops, why is this one not called rock false? It didn't remain. Okay, no. There, that's why. Rock false. Okay, and then we're going to assign you, boop, on both sides to rock false. Okay. I think it's doing it right. Actually, kind of hard to tell. And we're going to go ahead and make sure the rock texture is there. And yeah, dude, so I'm just drafting things right now, right? I'm kind of laying it out, getting things, but like you can assume when I, you know, do iterations and I improve this, like, yeah, there'll be traps, there'll be NPCs that are trolling you on corners. You're not just going to be able to run through the maze is the idea, right? Like, you know, there's going to be a couple areas where like, if you're with a group, you can EXP together. Like if you shift Z, let's, yeah. By the way, here's the maze, Sanguina, or Sanguines. Yeah, so this is just nightmare fuel. This one's a little bit more handmade, but the idea is that if you come over in this area, all these little boxes are NPC spawn points, so that you have like an area that you can EXP, and you're pretty safe here, or you can even set up over here, is kind of the idea. Actually, you can see here all the different NPCs I got kind of planned tentatively. I am trying to keep the mazes somewhat simple to start. Like, you know what I mean? I will throw a trap here or there, but I don't want it to be frustrating, especially when you're just level 1 and you're getting started. I want people to be paranoid, right? Just enough to scare you. You know, things like I'll put a little bit of ice on a corner here, and, you know, this corner will have ice just to troll. And then this will be a drop. It won't be a super punishing drop. You know what I mean? It'll just be some sort of like another area. Think of El Guck when you kind of go near the assassin room and you drop, you just get put into a vicarious situation. Yeah. And then, anyways, and this is what the whole place is going to be like. The general design, and you'll learn this really quick if you play, is this will be like level 1 to 5. This is going to be more 1 to 5 stuff, and I'm going to lace in unique named in here. So like if you want to go get named and kind of really farm up the early levels, you go get stuck in the maze. I might color coordinate some of the rocks and stuff too, so they start getting... I want to make player-made names for different areas, right? I want to see what people invent. And then, yeah, down here is your first kind of entry into like level 3+ stuff, like 3 to 7. And the right side will have a drop, which will pop you right into like level 7 stuff. And, you know, your general mentality of just the whole zones and how you explore is going down. The lower you go, the more difficult the game gets. So this whole game is basically an upside down tower, right? You're traversing deeper into the Underdark, and the farther you go, the crazier shit gets. So, you know, you start off level 1 and it's just a full experience. And yeah, and eventually this will all connect and have zone points that you'll start finding. And then later I will expand this way and there'll be other zone points, right? So like everybody is getting lost into labyrinths of zones. And I'll probably make it where once you traverse, let's say you get to like level 10 worth of stuff, there'll be another hub. And that hub will then become like, let's say there's one here. Once you interact with a certain NPC there, you unlock the ability to teleport back to content that you've already explored. So like, there'll be an NPC that if you interact with it, will let you get back to the main hub so that you can go hang out with friends. And you know what I mean? You're not always having, especially because what that does is I can make drops, right? Like I can make a cliff here where you just have to do a leap of faith, or, once you go down, there's no way back up. Kind of like North Top, right? I can do stuff like that. And if you do ever need to backtrack, there'll be these, I think I'm going to use like fairies, right? Fairy rings, mushroom rings will be an indicator that like this is an area that people can teleport to. So yeah, Dante's Inferno, exactly. The layers of hell. But yeah, that's kind of the vision. There's a lot to do. I've been streaming this every day around this time for like an hour. Just, adding content, fixing bugs, expanding the world little by little. In fact, speaking of those drops, so the left way doesn't have a false, floor. But what I can do is even right here, I can go ahead. Actually, let's take a loop cut and put one right here. It went all the way across, but that's all right. We can deselect these two and dissolve these edges. And now what I'm doing is these two sides are going to extrude out on Y, like so. And then this all is going to drop. In fact, we're also going to extrude on Y a little bit here. Now we can extrude on X and kind of cap this. Like so. Oops. Okay. And what this is doing is there's going to be a drop. So, oops, I need a knife right here-ish. That's good enough. And so now what I can do is extrude this on Z. Those snaps. There we go. So basically, if you go down this way and you go left, you have no problems here, but then it's just like, and drop. And then this drop means there's no backtrack. Can you tag people after a certain level? Like how in old WoW, after like level 20 or something, your PvP status is auto? So obviously I'm still focused on like 1 to 10 and I'm not touching PvP just yet. But it would totally be possible to even have like a fairy, like a chaos fairy in a hub on level 20-ish, where people can opt in and basically make entire areas flagged as the PvP regions. Like I can region areas and make the EXP and the mobs there like boosted. So if you want to run the risk of fighting other players, you can basically go into an arena that you get experience in. So I guess the closest would be like Kale. You can kind of do that. But yeah, I could totally, yeah, PvP is an option. I mean, EQ vanilla is not super PvP oriented. Like, it's not very good at it, but, uh, you know, I'd be down for that. I think that'd be fun. And that could actually become a theme later where everybody, you know, if you're courageous enough to go fight in an arena, you can get yourself better EXP and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, just weekly change. I mean, arguably what I could do too is, you know, here's like the hub, right? You start here. I could make it where later there's another path and it's the chaos path. And, you know, I could tint everything red. And you know that once you enter that area, you just get auto flagged PvP. So essentially, it is the PvP's arena route, right? Like the lore may be that there are shrooms that cause confusion, and that confusion just permanently makes you in PvP status. So Order of Discord kind of, you know, choice. That could be fun. But anyways, yeah, the world's our oyster. You can design this however you like. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and drop these a little bit more. I think I'll actually make this the route. That works. This geometry here is going to be interesting. What I'll probably do, I could just knife something like this. Oh wait, I'm doing that wrong. Like that. It's not doing it right. Let's do a loop cut. That's closer. Like that. Okay, and now we can deselect, and now we can take this face and extrude it over. There. You get this little elevator shaft drop, and you're just doing this blind. You're just like, okay. And of course, down the line, I'm going to add a lot more detail. Everything's not going to be blocky. It's just kind of how I'm starting, since it's an easy foundation to mod from. These are actually going to need to get merged, which I think I can do if I, you know what, I'll keep it separate for now. It should work perfectly fine. But yeah, so you got this little pathway and then you drop, and now you're in a, you know, unknown cavern. And that's actually where this will drop to, basically, is the equivalent, you know, of this area. In fact, we can go ahead and loop cut down there, grab a face, and we can extrude this out on Y, getting towards the bounding box, and kind of make a flat form here. So development, there is a suite of projects called EQGZI that I kind of helped co-create, and they allow you to do all the fun stuff you see here. So, how are we going to make this clean? Technically, these walls are, you know, let's do a loop cut. So basically, EQGZI Manager I wrote, and what this allows you to do is create zones, and it'll make a blank Blender file, and then you can hit this button, and it generates from your Blender file an EQG. Then you take the EQG, and you know, can copy it into your EQ directory, and it takes some server-side mods to make it fully work, and I'm also generating nav meshes and stuff. But basically, this little program simplifies turning a Blender file into a custom zone. So all I'm doing is just working in Blender. There's a little bit more setup with some of the more complicated steps, but you know, that's the TLDR. Yeah, it's fun. In fact, let's snap that there. That should make that cleaner. You shouldn't see this at all on the top. It's only on the bottom. Yeah, like on the top, it looks clean, but on the bottom, there's like this cavity. I'm debating how I best do this, but I'm thinking we take here and we loop cut. Turn off snap. We loop cut like this, and then we loop cut like. Wait, is this? Honestly, I forget which one's the actual. Let's see. Which one is the false ground? It's this one right here. Okay, so I put this in a bad spot because I didn't quite know, which is fine. So this is where the false is. I guess that's a sign I'm doing a good job if I can't even identify it, right? So we're going to put like 2 walls like this. Okay, and what we're doing, this geometry is a little wonky, so we're basically extruding this out on Z, and we can fix the weird L shape here in a second. Okay, and what this will do, oof, that's not right. We'll fix that, is we're going to make this to drop down, you know what I mean, over to this new area, so that it connects. They're not necessarily going to connect on points, but I'll probably put a bunch of mobs here and basically just punish you for going the wrong route, which you have no way to know, but, you know, just to be evil. I should be able just to snap to Z and then snap to edge. What we need to do is GX, GZ, GX, GZ, GX, GZ. I think that was right. That one might be a little off. GX, GZ. That one's definitely off. Come on. Okay. Essentially, I'm trying to clean up that the weird geometry problems, and I'm kind of you can see. Obviously, this one's still a bit jacked. You are here and here. And then lastly, you. All right, well, that's pretty close. Not fully sure why this seared, but these two should be connected. We'll simplify this geometry here in a second. Not kill them when they fall. Fall damage going to be a lot, yeah, because of weight. I honestly want to make fall damage pretty nasty. I think I can actually impact it. But yeah, so for example, when you're here, let's say that you do fall for this, right? I'm going to make it where when you look down, there's going to be like all sorts of, you know, like you're going to see what you're going to see in the future down there, right? Like there might be a, you know, let's scale this up by like 50 and then scroll down. I know you can't see what I'm doing, but like there'll be this huge pool. Maybe not this huge, but you get the idea. And I want it to feel like you can make it. right? So like there's this pool of water way the heck down here. Let's actually cut this by like, you know what I mean? So like when you're up here and you're just chilling and you find this new, problem situation and you look down, you're gonna be like, oh, I can make it. And you can just, you know what I mean, blind faith jump and pray. And if you make it, you can shortcut down to the ground area, you know what I mean? But if you fail, you just die. And all your stuff's down there. But that's why I have the NPC. You know what I mean? The NPC will charge you some minimal cost to just basically. But I'm totally going to be adding crap like that all the time. You know what I mean? Just hilarious stuff that people will totally go and attempt. 100%. Yeah. Just have a little pool here. And that will be water. So like if you can land that, you're good. And granted, that's going to put you down at like level 10 content. So if you're like level 1 with a full group and you're like, man, this stuff's trivial, you can feel ambitious and just skip all of the mazes and the bullshit and try to just go down to the hardest content immediately, I'm totally cool with that. Like if you can take the leap of faith, you deserve to get harder content. But yeah, anyways, good stuff. What else? All right. I'm just going to have to keep working on this stuff. Let's do a little bit of UV editing real quick. I don't want this to be like that. Is it just because I'm selecting multiple? No, it's just literally... I could make it where if I detect that you were down there and then like you get dropped down and you make that jump, you deserve an achievement, right? Eh. But come on. I got to find some more optimal ways to do these kind of steps because this is tedious, right? I mean, I could do something like that, but then it just jacks it all up. I got to figure out how to do a Q projection locally. I haven't figured that out yet. But got to clean up all this geometry of UV meshes. Daring plunge pioneer. That's right. But yeah, I love working on old zones because I can just totally be lazy. You see what I mean? Like, it looks like normal EQ and I'm just doing weird ass, Q bullshit like this. It looks totally normal. Ah, there we go. I'd probably clean this up by, I can remove those verts actually, but I'll mess with that later. I'm not so worried about it. I'm just sort of repairing it a little bit. Does it work? It should. Baka. Did it make a sound? I don't think it did. I'll have to go check that out later. But yeah, yeah, code-wise, I'm going to be adding NPC spawning and stuff soon. There's a lot of new custom stuff I'm writing for this server to make, like placing NPCs and adding grids and everything inside of Blender is going to speed up the process so much. I'll make it authoritative where the blend file has all the NPCs and everything baked into it. Because normally you have to get in game and like manually edit everything, and screw that. I'd rather just, I want you, right? I want you over here, and it's just drag. You get what I mean? It's so much easier. So, but yeah, I kind of like this design. I do need to make this actually work. Let's actually work on that. So let's go check out this spot right here. And my skills with Blender aren't the greatest, but they're definitely going to get really good fast if I keep working like this. All right, so I think string flag 1 is what we need, is what this material needs. Let's test it. I might have it just with that. I think there's enough geometry below that it thinks that I can actually drop in this. We'll have to test. Because I'm like right there. Let's give it a whirl. So yeah, obviously I'll keep the classic NPCs of EverQuest just to speed up time. But I do have the ability to make stationary NPCs, which is cool. I can, write custom stuff to amplify. All right, moment of truth. Do I fall? I'm guessing not, but nope, I fell. Boom. There you go. False ground. Perfect. And that was like, you have no clue where that's at, I can maybe fall to my death. Oh, yep, here I go. Let's see if I take falling damage. Just only 5. It's probably some GM. All right, we're going to do a leap of faith. So now that I have the bounding box, I'll have to write a GM coordinate. Oop, I went the wrong way. I have to pay attention. Did I go the wrong way, actually? Yeah, definitely did. Gotta go this way. And then I gotta write some GM commands to fast travel, different points in this area. Because, yeah, as I expand the game, it's gonna get harder and harder to get back to places. So, in fact, let's do a loc. All right. But anyways, this, can you even see? Oh, well, here we go. Do I die? Nope. I only take 5 damage. I need to figure out why and how do I, increase fall damage. It's interesting that I think because this object's here, it made floor, but the bounding box I don't think I actually have on right now. Or because you can't see the ground, But let's go ahead and do 289, 37, 4. 289, negative 37, 4. So now I have a bridge button. Cool. Yeah, you can't make that easily. I don't think it's even possible. Jump! Oh, I did. Okay, never mind. It is possible. You just got to hit the edge. Which, actually, that's kind of perfect. Anyways, and now, yeah, this is pretty clean. This is exactly what I wanted, where you think, okay, just a little path, you go down, there's some weirdness here, but not necessarily. Okay, is it right here? I think you can cheat. Okay, there it is. You see what I mean by cheat? Okay, so we know that it's at that ridge where that next black line is, okay? So the trick, can I make it, right? Let's actually put a loc here as well. False. Go to 611, 40, native 67. All right, so now I have a false spot. And let's see, can I make it? Jump! Nope. Let's try again. Jump! Probably with Bard speed or, you know, Sal. But it's definitely a bit much. And yeah, I think gravity impacts this. So like actually, let's test this. It's not super easy to add zone changes, but there is a gravity field here. Let's like 2.5. I'm curious if this will even impact it. Change gravity from 0.4 to 2.5. Right? Yeah. I've turned it into text files, by the way, to edit freaking zones and stuff, which is nice. Yeah, it might be too soon. In fact, okay, it's definitely on that crease, like right here, because look, I cannot get past that crease. So let's try again. Nope. I don't think it's possible without Spirit of Wolf. All right, I got Sal on. Jump. Well, that was way too early. Too late. I need to fix the heading on each try. Is it possible? Man, this is hard. Oh, there it goes. I got it. I got it. Nice. Oh, you can really see it when you go back up. That's interesting. I collapsed one of the walls there. Can you see that? Oh, you can. I have a glitch there. I should fix that. Yeah, and yeah, I could try Bard speed, but it's possible with Sal. Without it, it's a bit much. So what I think happened is this geometry. Hey, that geometry does exist. Wonder why that's collapsing. I think that's where it's at, though. Sorry. Yeah. But I mean, I can clean this up a little bit. Ugh. I'm at the, is this the boundary? What am I looking at right now? Oh, I went up on top. It's because there's this, and then there's the upper maze. So, and then there's also, whoa, that. So yeah. Anyways, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna do a little patching here, see if we can clean this up. Arguably, I can take this entire ring, and I think I can just dissolve it. I don't think that'll hurt anything. Same thing with you. Ooh, that actually makes it more flush. That might be a problem. Okay, so now we're seeing the issue. I think it has to do, oops, you can see there, I'm screwing up the faces there. Yeah, see, there's the issue. There's a face there, and it's clipping up above. So let's do this. We're going to move you down, and we're going to actually, can we maybe clean it by doing F? Granted, that just jacked up the, the geometry here a little bit, but let's see if that fixes this. But, all right. I'm mainly just going to see if the geometry is generating now properly. And if it does, I can clean up the UVs. In fact, this is nothing like done, right? I'm just drafting and just sort of testing and experimenting. See what I can do. All right, so you can still see the edge there, but it still works too. I wonder why. What could I do to clean that? I feel like there is too much. I'm going to try to delete some of these edges. And honestly, I should be able to get away with removing these edges too. I think it's because that face is now there. It's not an easy fix. Arguably, though, this doesn't need to be there. And instead, I can just take this edge, snap to the other edge, GX, like that. It's going to be a little wonky, but that in theory would do it. I can do the same thing with this edge, I think, because this is this still a false wall? Yes. So this is normal, this is false, this is normal, and this is normal. So arguably, I can take this line, dissolve it, and this line, dissolve it. And of course, that causes a artifact here, and that's because of how I extruded, I think, which is fine. Because now I can just go GX, snap, and then GZ, snap. And I think that'll do it. There's still some artifacts. I think that's more that the face below. Oh yeah, see, we got a little misaligned now. This geometry in general is just really gross. I might just redo it. The way I extruded out was not the most clean. Yeah, I mean, arguably, we can take all of this and just dissolve. And do the same with this. Because it was just not the cleanest. Yeah, you can see I'm getting all sorts of weird artifacts now. Like this triangle. Oh yeah, you can see I'm... Interesting that it went there. That's likely because I removed a vert that was supposed to be on top. Yeah, I'm doing Control Z now. It's because I deleted too many verts on the top. I just need to remove the bottom faces. Can I? Well, let's do this. Remove edges. Whoop. All right, so we're still clean here. What the heck? Oh. Whoa. Getting all snapped around. So we're still clean, right? So over here, this geometry, I think it was that one right there. No, it's still happy. What about over here? That one probably. Nope, it's still happy. But I did just take out one of these edges. Yeah, so it requires, oh, in fact, you can see there, I need to like take a knife and rejoin that. There we go. That helped. There's also some edges here that are just not very well designed. Yeah, because like when I remove that one, you see, it lost another. In fact, it's already losing. No, don't do that. All I want is you to connect to here. Okay, why aren't you doing it? It is not enjoying how I'm doing that. Now it's a debate, right? Like, what's the cleanest route? Good experience, though. Dissolve verts would not do it, right? So this vert to this vert's great. This vert to this vert needs an edge. Can I just draw an edge? I don't think you can do that. But I should be able to click the two verts and hit like join. I think it's like J. Could not connect vertices. What I could also do is take 4 verts and just say face. There. That's how you make a... That should clean that up. And then we go back into here. And we're still okay. That one messed something up. You can see here, like this face lost a vert here. So let's do this. You, not you, you, and this guy. You guys make a face. That works. And just to double check, do you 4 make a face? Yes. Okay, that should help. Yeah, see the top still looks clean. Okay, so we still have the geometry here. And nice. So now we could take this and I think if we Q project. Why is the X so freaking small? What the heck? Like, am I doing it too complex or is it X? So that's not, it's Y. Like this geometry is. There. And then we can. Granted, the problem with this is now these two. There. This will make them at least seem the same. Or should. Like, look, I'm doing that and now it's. That's annoying. Oh well, worst case, it's gonna look. I feel like if I take a top view, right, and then I use. Oh, by the way, that face is not correct. Those are not supposed to be connected like that. Yeah, you can see that for some reason this face is not well written. In fact, all this geometry is just, I think I can do a cleanup though. Specifically In edit mode, we go to mesh, cleanup, limited dissolve. There. Oof. What the hell is this? Actually, that was there before, so that's part of the issue. I gotta figure out an easy way to clean this. It's at that point, I mean, other than it's educational for me to fix this, that I should just go ahead and, just rebuild this part and just be more anticipating of the false ground. I might do that, actually. I'm not quite good enough to fix all geometry issues, but I'm getting there. I think I'm going to stop, though, for now. This is my 1-hour stream, so I'll make a video. Hope whoever's been watching enjoys, and yep, probably tomorrow around the same time, 7 a.m.-ish Pacific. So hope you enjoyed. Take care. Bye.